ready to go for a walk?
Yes, shall we begin?
Absolutely.
Introduce us to Judi in one word.
Well, at this point in my life, that word would be Nana. My 15-month-old grandson just said it out loud a couple days ago, so Nana.
Love that. How would your team describe you in one word?
I'd say consistent.
Okay.
I'm a consistent leader. They know what to expect of me. So I'd say probably consistent.
Okay. What does your day usually look like?
Oh goodness. Well, it starts with coffee. Very important.
Very important.
I am truly addicted. So starts with coffee, and then I would say I usually have meetings from about 6:30 in the morning till maybe 7 at night-ish.
Okay.
So yeah, at least when I'm working.
Okay. Good to know. Where to find Judi a little late in the evening in the computer.
Yep.
What's the most surprising thing you have learned about yourself ever since you took this role?
Oh gosh. Probably that I thrive on change.
I love that. Okay.
Which has been useful for this business that we're in, is I thrive on, okay, we got to think about it differently now. So that has surprised me. I thought that would be more challenging than it's been.
Okay, I love that. Any tips for anybody trying to, figure out ways to deal with change?
I think that, you can't think of the problem in the biggest of terms. You have to break it down into small elements and figure out how to solve each of those small elements. It feels more doable that way, feels less frightening that way. So think about what are the 3 things I can do to start to make the change happen. And also to recognize that for me, when I learned the most about myself, my leadership, and really gained the greatest experiences were during times of change.
I love that.
And so embrace that as just the experience that you need to have.
Embracing change, very, very valuable. What's your favorite thing about working with a revenue team?
Oh, they're just great kids, and I think of them as my kids.
I love that.
I raised 2 boys, and I've raised a bunch of kids here. And, people are really passionate about the way they live their lives. They're passionate about their customers. And they bring that to business. And so that's what I find fascinating. And I also feel as though the bigger the challenge, the more the team just shows up. And I love that about them. And
I feel like that's something that we see a lot at TTEK. So love that that's true to your team as well.
Yeah.
This is a funny question. If the revenue management team had a mascot, what would it be?
Oh my gosh, a mascot. I don't know. My first reaction was the Tasmanian devil, just because I feel like we are always a whirlwind of activity. But that also feels a little less, that feels a little more frenetic than it is, because I think we finally kind of settle down.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's so much that, but it would be, maybe it's a 3-year-old toddler. It's something that never stops moving.
Very true. That's a good description. I like that. I must feel that. Is there a specific go-to person at TTEK that helps you figure out solutions to challenges?
Oh, I've got a lot of, like Nick, my CMO, is one of these guys. I'll pick up the phone and say, help me think this through.
Love that.
Robbie, I have a lot of guys that work for me. My sales leaders, my sales people. There are sales people that have worked with me this entire time that I can always pick up the phone and say, hey, Ray, what do you think of this? Or George, what do you think of that? So I feel like I'm surrounded by people that like to brainstorm and help us think about things differently.
Very cool. And I really love even just taking those time. I feel like where creativity and innovation is born. So love that you experience that and you have somebody to go to. Do you have a secret talent that nobody knows about after work hours?
Oh my gosh, I don't know if I have a secret talent. I love to cook. I am very much a very passionate cook, both cooking and baking, and it's a bit of my love language is I like to cook for people. So I was just at home in Omaha where I grew up with my mother and my sister and my niece, and I was the caterer for a weekend of events that were going on, and that's what I love to do.
I love that. Yes, cooking is a wonderful love language.
Yeah.
Okay. Which way should we go? Do you want to go that way or this way?
I think we should go this way.
Amazing.
Yeah. Just watch for the geese.
Yes. Do you enjoy traveling for work?
I used to, not so much anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard when my sons were young, and I would do all sorts of crazy things to get home to make sure I never missed a football game or a baseball game or a school activity. But I think I enjoyed traveling more then than I do now. Now, it just is, it's a lot more difficult than it used to be. Planes are crowded, airports are crowded, so
very
no,
true.
not so much. And I love my home, and so I like to be there and not in a hotel room.
And enjoy it,
with bad pillows.
True. If you could add one unconventional perk at the office, what would it be?
An unconventional perk, a really good coffee maker.
Am I hearing cold brew maybe?
That would be great.
Right.
I am such a coffee person, so the machine we have here, not so good. Yeah.
Love it. What's your idea of unwinding?
Hiking. And in fact, I tell people, like I was telling this to Shelley, I've heard the term foresting, which is you immerse yourself in the middle of the forest. I love that for lots of reasons. When I'm hiking in the forest, I feel like I'm underwater because it's so quiet.
That's so true.
And just being surrounded by, just the greenery and all that. Now, I'm not too happy that wolves have been released in Colorado, but I'll try to get over that. But I would say hiking. Hiking is my way of
unwinding. And you're definitely in the right place. So Colorado, it is a beautiful place to catch some beautiful hikes. So, okay. Do holidays mean completely switch off, or what does that look like for you?
I think I figured out years ago that if you're going to take on a role like the one I've been fortunate to have, you don't switch off. If you're needed, you're needed. And, I fully accept that, and I'm fine with that. Do I think it's important sometimes to completely unplug? Yes. And I would say there's times during the holidays that I do that. I used to take off the week between Christmas and New Year's before TTEK. Now we do that. And my boys used to call it playing house. And so I would play house for a week, and then they'd be like, when are you going back to work, Mom? Stop cleaning out my closet. So.
Love it. Okay. And this is a little bit of a random question. Do you keep a journal?
No, I don't. I don't keep a journal. My writing has become horrific. The more and more we,
AI life.
just we can turn this way if you want onto the gravel. This is where you really have to be worried about the geese. But
exactly.
I think this is my little loop I do.
I love it. Okay. Would you call yourself a foodie?
I am a foodie, very much so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't go out to restaurants a lot though, because I love to cook. But one of my things I do on Saturday nights with my husband is I like to try things I've never made before. So in the early 90s, I took cooking classes of every type of food, Italian, Mexican, Thai, Vietnamese, because I decided with two sons, if I was the mom that cooked, all their friends would be at my house. And so I love to cook, and I love to make things I've never made before.
Oh, I love that. Love that a lot. What kind of music do you enjoy?
Oh gosh, I have to admit I'm kind of the 80s oldies. I like music that brings back memories to me, like the first concert I went to with my husband, or that's the kind of music I love. I am trying, like I did just listen to the whole new Taylor Swift album.
Of course.
Because I have nieces that I want to be able to talk to about that, so I am trying to get more involved in today's music.
Okay, so could we say that Judi is a Swiftie?
I am. I would love to have gone to one of her concerts. I think she's amazing. So definitely
Very
a Swiftie.
Oh, very cool. And you said you cook. Anything in particular that you enjoy cooking the most?
Oh gosh, I enjoy cooking what I know to be each of my son's favorite meal or my husband's favorite meal. And I know every single one of their friends' favorite dessert. And then now I have daughters-in-law, so I know what their favorite meal is, favorite dessert. So I would say it's truly, like I was just home over the weekend and I made my homemade lasagna for 15 people because it's easy to do for 15 people. and I know they love it.
Oh, yeah. Lasagna is good. I haven't had it in a while. Maybe next time I can come join
Yeah.
Judi. What's the best thing for midnight cravings?
It's funny, my husband and I, when we first got married, our coming home from being out at night was grilled cheese sandwiches.
Love.
And for a while it was fried egg sandwiches.
Oh,
so
wow.
I would say it's some kind of a quick sandwich.
Okay, good. Both really good ideas.
Yeah.
Well, one thing you have learned from your team.
One thing oh my gosh, I learn something every day from my team. I would say that my team does a pretty good job of balancing work and, life. And I've learned that from them, that what we do is not, going to the moon or curing cancer.
Yeah.
And while it's important, you can't give up the things that are more important to you, which is making sure that you're there for your family. So I would say they're really good at reminding me of that, reminding me to do more of that. They're good at that.
Amazing.
I'm afraid you're going to step on.
I know, we have a little bit of an unpaved path, but it's all right. Do you have a favorite team activity that you do with your group?
Oh, we're all completely virtual. Probably more, I don't know, it's probably as much as the other groups in the company.
Yeah.
But with sales, and marketing, these people are all over the country and all over the world. And so, and we need to start doing this again. We do this walk and talk.
Yeah.
Right? Where we just literally, I tell everybody, we started it during COVID, get outside, put in your earbuds, and just ask any question you have on your mind.
Okay.
So I like that.
Is there something that you're really proud of?
My two sons, they're beyond my wildest expectations.
Wow. I'm sure I'm like, you gotta make them watch this. Be like, hey, I gave you a shout out.
Well, I think they know how I feel.
Oh, I love that. And do you have a long lost dream?
Yeah, and it's not even, doesn't make sense, but there was this movie years ago called It's Complicated, and it was Meryl Streep and Steve Martin, and she owned a coffee shop and bakery in Santa Barbara. And my dream would be to own a coffee shop and bakery and just know all the locals, and everybody comes in the morning for their coffee and I know what their favorite, you like the chocolate croissant, you like the pecan roll, and just have that community environment. Now I'm reminded by family members of mine that own restaurants, and you will be there at 4 a.m, and so most likely that'll never happen, but I always thought that was going to be how I do
Judi
the next
Cafe
chapter.
Or something of
hand
the
in
sort.
hand.
Love that. Love that. Great. There you go. You never know. Do you have a fun family tradition?
Oh, not really. I mean, we do very traditional things on the holidays. We always did when my boys were growing up. But now they're married with their own, each of them has a son. So I have 2 grandsons.
Aww.
And one of them lives in the Bay Area. The other one lives here in Denver. And so they're establishing their own traditions now. So I'd say not really. I mean, we used to do Friday night movie night and, all that kind of stuff when they were growing up. We had very special things we did during Christmas. But now they're kind of doing their own, and that's
developing
fine. And my husband and I are back to the pre-children. We play tennis all the time. We go bike riding, all the things we did before we had kids.
So fun, so fun. You kind of answered my next question, but movie nights or game nights?
Movie nights.
Movie nights.
Yeah.
I love
we're
it.
too competitive for games.
Fair. What's your idea of me time?
Oh gosh, I would say I actually love to read. I'd love to read, and for a while I got out of reading for pleasure, and I've gotten back into it. So definitely, because it causes me to be still, which is a huge challenge of mine. So I love to read. I am very much of a soak in a bath for 30 minutes kind of girl. So I definitely love that.
I love that. And this one's a little bit of a thinker about what do you want to be remembered for?
My 2 sons. And I've said that to them. I say, I feel like you were the reason I was born. So
wow.
they will they will outlive me, and they will obviously, their legacy will live on. My legacy will live on in them.
That's beautiful, Judi. What was your first job?
Oh my gosh, so my very first paying job, I was 12 years old and it was detasseling corn. Oh. Holy cow, like 4 a.m, get on a bus, go to a field. It's muddy, there's grasshoppers, and you literally walked along the field and pulled the tops off the corn halfway through the growing season so that the stalks would continue to grow. Now that's completely automated, but that's what I did as a 12-year-old. Probably was borderline illegal, but that was what happens in Nebraska. So that was my first job, was detasseling corn.
I love that. And is there one thing that scares you?
Heights, horrifies me.
Okay.
Like very afraid of heights, and not just me being somewhere tall, and so I have a home in the mountains. How silly is that? But if I saw my sons up on a high balcony, I literally am physically sick.
So no roller coasters for Judi.
Oh, roller coasters are horrible things.
Good to know. Good to know. In a parallel universe, what would Judi be doing for a living?
I'd probably be a chef.
Love that. And what's your idea of work-life balance?
You know, here's what I truly believe. People ask me all the time, having been working for 40 years and raised 2 sons, Judi, how did you balance? And what I said is, I didn't balance, I blended. I've felt from day one that blending my life together, it's one life, it's one situation, bring my boys to work. You know, they used to come in with me on the weekends. They'd take magic markers, write on the windows, thinking they were doing something naughty. I've always blended my life together. And to me, that's how I manage. I don't think about balance. I don't think that's realistic.
Yeah. No,
sometimes one needs me more than the other.
That's so true. Sometimes it's 100, sometimes 80-20. It just depends, right?
Yep.
Is there anything you're changing this 2024?
If there's anything I'm changing,
just in general, something that you're working on.
I need to be more physically active. I'm finding that I'm getting stuck in just, there could be days I'm in the office and I don't come outside and walk. So getting much more physically active, I'm very focused on that.
Yeah. And we're almost to the end. We got about 4 more questions. So, best thing about TTEK?
I think I've been here 17 years, and I think that what keeps me here is the diversity of the customers. I feel like I'm back in business school, and it's a case study every day. There are different industries, different customer segments, different geographies. That all represents different challenges, different opportunities. The clients' personalities are different. So nothing's ever really the same. And that's what I really like about TTEK, is just diversity of of what we work on.
I love that. And if you had one word of advice for everybody, what would that be?
What would it be? This too shall pass.
This too shall pass. It's very good. I actually keep that very close to my heart personally, so I like that. And did you have fun today with us?
I did. It was fun. I hope you didn't walk on any bad goose droppings, but it was nice to get outside. Thank you for doing this.
For sure. Well, we'll let you finish your walk, but thanks for hanging out, and that's it.
Thanks, Helen.